Hey, thanks so much for joining us here at Fables at the Table. I'm Michael. We've got Zach, Colin, Austin, and Trent with us. Trent's first time. Trent is one of our behind-the-scenes guys. Welcome, Trent. So glad you're here.
Hi, Chris, and welcome, Trent.
Hi, Chris.
Welcome,
Hi, Chris.
Trent.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. You.
Tonight was so much fun. Our party is back together finally. We kicked it off with Schultz being in a super creepy dungeon-esque mine, and he got the slip on this weird creature that he has never seen. It's this weird creature, and he got the slip on it and got a ton of experience points. Oh, by the way, you guys are getting a ton of experience points. Once we get past this, I'll tell you how many. And they all ended up in a cave with a bunch of Yetis, and then an abominable Yeti came in, and the other Yetis helped them fight this other Yeti, and they won. And that's where we ended. That's the super abbreviated version. We're going to talk about it.
Shocker.
That's a very abbreviated version. I was like, whoa, you didn't mention the laser pistol. You didn't mention
I know.
that someone spoke Yeti, and they were like friendly.
Those are the things for us to talk about. I figure out how many hit points you got.
Yeah, so you're a Yeti.
I'm not a Yeti.
You've been more from a
No,
Yeti.
you're a Yeti.
I am not a Yeti.
You're a Yeti. And it's okay.
I am not. I promise you.
I'm starting to see a little bit of white in your hair. It's
Hold on,
coming through.
You're not a Yeti. Let's start with anything related to Schultz first. Let's go in chronological order, because that's something I realized in the last podcast is we were all over the place. So,
Schultz,
Schultz, what'd you think?
Colin, as the player,
As the
playing
lizard.
Schultz, how incredible was that entire scene?
Oh, that was so much fun. I was like, okay. How do I not die? Knowing that I'm a level 1, knowing that everyone else is level 2 already, and have the bonus XP, and knowing that I know nothing. Like I know
knowing that you're a lizard.
backstory things. So in my head, I was like, this is really dangerous. But I was like, Schultz is probably just thinking it's mildly dangerous. And he did. So I was glad that there was DM leniency.
What do you mean
helping me out.
backstory things?
Backstory things.
Things in the backstory.
There's stuff
kinda
that has
games.
yet to be revealed that I still don't feel like I can reveal here yet.
Things underneath the scales.
Whatever that means. Sure.
Well, you're dragonborn. So
Yeah.
maybe. That whole
You're a fire lizard.
like you there, this tentacle thing attacking you, even the sound effects that were brought into it, just you explained it so well and you played it so well that I was like watching in the background, hiding behind the green screen. I was just like, it was just phenomenal.
I was upset I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I wanted to be there. The entire time I was like, I want to be in this room.
If you haven't watched
Right now.
it, be sure go back, watch that episode, listen to it.
You find out what this is.
Yeah, there was so many different elements.
Shocker, it's a
that things were
box.
starting to reveal, and it just seemed like just awesome to just sit back and to watch, to see it unfold.
So things that were mentioned that are kind of giving clues. If you know the monster manual and you can piece together the pieces of things that have already been laid, there was mention of Schultz kind of having a flashback memory to these tentacle things standing over him overbearingly while he's on some sort of like metal slab. And obviously there's things happening there, but that's like just kind of big things just slowly being pieced together. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I was looking at Michael and I was like, I don't even know what this means. Like, I'm very excited. And then he hands me this puzzle, which I never thought that I would get a physical puzzle. I was given rules beforehand of how I could interact with the puzzle. I was told that I couldn't turn it upside down. I couldn't shake it. I couldn't do.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to break it.
Yeah, it was like, hey, don't break it. And there's certain things you can do, but you can solve the puzzle.
Wait, I thought you did shake it.
No.
I had him shake it.
Oh, okay.
To make the ball bearings inside move.
Where
shout out to
you
Fred.
said that you got this from somewhere? Where was that? I like, if people are curious about this,
Yes.
where would they might be able to find something like
So on myminifactory.com,
because this is a phenomenal like physical element brought into the D&D puzzle. Like you maybe
Props.
roll for hints.
So Props and Beyond is who made that. And you can find them on My Mini Factory. You can do a late pledge to their Kickstarter that they did.
And do those emeralds like move? Like, do they actually push
Some of them
in?
do, yeah.
I still don't know what they do.
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a misdirect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the
So
distraction.
I think they came out with like a revised version of this because essentially like it needs to, the inside part where the balls go needs to be like slanted, because what was happening is you would move it and it would come out too easy.
Yeah.
Because the goal here is like you're supposed to spin it, because the water is supposed to be a vortex, so you can spin it really fast and then just pull the top off. That's the whole thing. But they were popping out too easy, and it's almost like it needs a little extra like filing or something to keep them.
And you 3D printed this, or did you buy it?
I 3D printed it and I
Nice.
painted it.
Nice. Looks
Yeah.
great.
That's awesome. Like these are the sort of things that really excite me. Just about D&D in general. I think that there's a lot of DMs that when they're building stuff, it's like roll initiative for encounters. But when you start to bring in different elements, that your encounter is a puzzle that you're now piecing together, or your encounter is more like schematics to a game that you're figuring out and how to move forward, rather than, oh, you have to roll a d20 for intelligence and I tell you the thing. It's like, no, you physically as the player figure this out based on the clues that have been given to you. I think that is like that extra step in DMing a really awesome D&D game.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I already have been working on. Oh.
Yeah, it was super cool. And also just like, honestly, so when I opened it, it was empty. And as me, I was like, what do you mean it's empty?
Good. That's what I wanted you to
Which is
do.
like, I was like slightly frustrated. And then he goes into, it's like, as it's empty, it glows and something happens. You hear a voice inside your head, which is not directly correlated to the item itself. But I think more backstory things that will come.
Something came out of the box.
Of a mystery.
Well, we're on episode 2 of me
Wrapped
being
in
a
an
DJ.
enigma.
Wrapped in another mystery.
Wrapped in a burrito. It's a quesarito.
Baby Bell.
I super enjoyed. Like I had been excited for whatever that was going to be for like the whole week.
And Trent here is normally our main person behind the scenes that switches the scenes on OBS, tracking the audio, all that. Trent, as you're listening in, because you're fine.
Literally, you guys are in my ears, like constantly.
The little whispers that like even they can't hear over there on that table when I'm talking over here to whoever.
Dude, especially Zach. Zach is just one of those people that would just purposely, like out of the blue, everybody might be talking, and then like 2 seconds later, I'll hear this weird, just like little tickling noise.
How did you feel about that opening scene? You know, as a behind the scenes viewer of it.
I liked how kind of eerie and quiet it was, because when Michael was like, "Hey, everybody exit," I was like, "Oh boy, it's about to go down," and because I had no idea what this was going to happen, and I just hear like, "Yeah," because I saw the creature before you did, and I'm like, "Oh boy,"
Oh.
because I initially thought I was like, "Oh, this is like some golem thing." Like, no, it's not. And so I was like, I
I
was
had it
like,
up on my iPad.
I really thought you were gonna die, and then like spawn somewhere, and they were gonna find you.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, but you didn't. You're live.
Yeah, I was worried whenever I saw Austin, you showed me the TikTok of Michael painting that mini. And whenever he was in the cave, and I was like, 1v1 against this thing, like
The Yeti.
I thought it was what's your character's name?
Shelf.
I thought it was Schultz against the Yeti. I was like, oh, he's dead. Cool, he's dead. Nice.
Don't drop it.
An abominable Yeti that we later fought together.
Notice all the detail, including the blood on it.
How long
not
did
real
it take you to paint?
6 hours.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, I actually saw this on our social channels. I saw that he had posted this before the session, and I was like, that is amazing, but also incredibly.
I love your
intimidating.
comment. I'm scared.
Yeah, I was like, I'm scared.
That was. I remember when you first got the files for both of these. He sent them to me, and I got to see like when they had fresh printed what they looked like and everything. I was like, "This is the coolest set of minis I have ever seen."
Yeah.
And then seeing them get to be painted and finally brought to the table, I was like,
I'm so sad that your arm broke. I'll bring glue next
"It's
week.
okay. I've broken my arm twice. We'll fix it. He'll be fine."
But back to the cave scene, I was behind the scenes kind of looking over your shoulder, saw this creature thing popping up. I saw you filming some stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna grab a shot too. And I like went over. I was like, this would be going to be a great thing to just like post randomly of seeing over your shoulder, seeing the creature that you're looking at, and you're looking up like, I had this like frantic look, and he's like, he doesn't see what I see over the shoulder of the DM. So I was like as a player in it, I was like, this is a lot of fun. And have a moment to be able to peek over the shoulder.
That was cool.
It's
Well,
awesome.
Just out of
Yetis.
curiosity. Oh, sorry. Just out of curiosity, will we have more of those moments?
That's the face of
Yep.
probability.
Moving on.
Can either confirm or deny. Yetis. So you're a Yeti.
I'm not a Yeti.
You're a Yeti.
Gerbil is a
I'm
rock,
starting to
and you
see
are a
white
Yeti.
hairs. Are you kidding?
Gerbil Rock, you Yeti.
We come back out of the cave. We sit back down. Schultz still isn't there. And baby Yeti comes up to us going,
yep.
and I reply,
Word for word. Again, word for word.
to hopefully the shock of others, that Atla speaks Yeti.
Is a Yeti.
Not a Yeti. He's not a Yeti. Very
not a
clearly,
He's a mini Yeti.
very clearly a Goliath.
He's a naked.
He's a naked Yeti.
The naked juice.
As the baby Yeti would say. And that was one reason why I was excited to, at the end of the last session, like a baby Yeti's running up. That was a piece of my hidden backstory, was that I spoke Yeti. And Atla was right when he was outcasted from his tribe, was taken in by these Yetis. As a plaything at first, similar to what we saw, but he quickly was able to mesmerize with gadgets and things, whatever he could craft and do and make, which is why it was a cherished moment whenever he held out my first trinket that I was not picking up on, that was my first thing.
How old do Yetis get? Or like typical?
It was a great
14.
Look up Yeti.
Then they die.
then they're just dead.
Live to a ripe
Immediately.
old high school
But yeah,
age.
Years.
And he was there for 10 years. So
1
His
year.
14th birthday. I think
1 year is 10 years in Yeti. Or other
You
way
pulled
around.
that out of you. No. I don't believe that for 1 second.
The player's handbook, you guys.
Yetis? I don't think they are.
You
Not
are
in the
pulling my leg.
I thought about bringing my monster manual, but I thought that was also too meta.
Well, any other general thoughts from the?
Words.
I like thank you, Trent. I like how cold. I think I might have mentioned this. How cold it is.
Yeah.
I think just like reminding us of the atmosphere that we're in. Like I really like putting myself in just like this freezing cold. And like one of the first things you mentioned was like it's night and it's dropping even colder. And it's like you're already numb and you're numb already and it's getting colder.
Yeah.
So I like being in an environment of just harshness and bleakness, and I like feeling a little bit pressed upon by even the environment. I don't know. It just it's another element to storytelling.
This
that I really
place
enjoy.
is hostile.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to paint that picture, like and especially as like we go on, I want to make sure that if somebody jumps in that's never watched and has no context, that they understand this place sucks.
Yeah.
It's trying to kill you. Like this is not right. Yetis live to be up to
Probably not old.
300 years.
It's going to be like
I bet like
about
80
something.
60 or 80, I bet.
80. Yeah.
80
or so.
Okay. Wow.
180
They can just be old men. The question is, how old are you?
At least 10.
I mean, yeah.
The abominable Yeti fight was
Moving on.
An abominable Yeti's 3 times the size of a human.
massive, terrifying, and here's my worry. We fought it well.
Yeah.
Like so well that
You did have help.
we had Yeti help,
4-on-1.
which was helpful that there was someone that spoke Yeti to be able
Another-
to.
I was wondering at the beginning of that if you were going to try to talk to it first.
You
The
could try.
abominable.
You could have tried
Like what was
with
happening?
advantage.
I would have.
I didn't know if it was like a rival thing or if this is a whole other creature
So-
other than Yeti.
My assumption
and
was it was coming
transparently-
in to attack.
Transparently too, had it not been for the alchemist's fire, that whole situation would have looked differently.
There were like
Oh.
4 or 5 actions that,
Yes.
that were just gone because of that fire.
Yes, very much.
It could have been moving, but like it's using its action, so I could have had it move. But like, okay, it runs out of the cave into the snow, tries to
Yeah.
flop itself down. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bangs its head against the cave wall.
Being raised by Yetis, he knows how fearful Yetis are of fire in general, and knowing how vulnerable they were, which is why he carried a flask, something that could catch fire, in case he comes into Yetis that are not friendly.
The thought of what if you had talked to it in the opening scene, I was like, what if I just sit here and play prisoner? What if I just sit and ask this thing questions? Like, that's what I thought I was supposed to do. So I'm just going to jump back to that real quick. Was there some sort of contingency for if I didn't try to kill it, or would it have just been like, yep, go back to sleep?
no, I would have figured it out.
Okay.
I honestly expected you to try to like knife it in the back. So
And I don't know why. I felt like I was just supposed to sit there and ask it questions because I like Shulf wants to learn things. I want to learn things. I know there's stuff going on inside your head that's not going inside mine. So I was like, I want to get some exposition on whatever this thing is. So good to know that DM prefers combat over.
no, I don't.
No, yeah.
Michael's really, I think he's got a good balance.
He does.
No, I
of combat.
thought no matter how it did turn out, I was prepared for either way. So, yeah. So also, even though they weren't involved in this combat, this will put them too far out of reach for XP if I don't do this. But you guys get 1,500 experience points.
Does that knock us to 3?
Yes.
Ooh, leveling up.
It will not go this fast. I don't think leveling
Yeah, no.
No.
just past this.
At past 3 is going to be also, but
15
also the experience point jump from 3 to 4 is much bigger, and then from 4 to 5 is much bigger.
So
Like it-
1,500 a piece or
Yes.
1,500 total?
No. So there's the way that this works, that the Abominable Yeti is a CR 9.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that wasn't a joke. He told us at the beginning that he was like, haha, y'all gonna fire a CR9 creature. And we were
I
like,
told you right
LOL.
up front.
I thought
See
it
y'all
was
later.
joking. I was like, haha.
Yeah, we all thought it was a joke.
If he would have,
So
okay.
if you guys started to do poorly, the Mama Yeti was going to come help.
Gotcha.
And this was all, if we would have had Josh and Terry, it would have been super easy.
Yeah.
And then I was going to have the Yetis hold back because there's a whole thing when you're making encounters. There's like a difficulty, like a multiplier. In anything 6 or more players, it becomes 0.5. So you're actually having the difficulty
Yeah.
instead of exponentially multiplying it. So anyway, there were ways I was going to finagle it if you guys started to do poorly.
the fight was so interesting. Like a DC 14 dex save, I was like, I don't know how dexterous a big Yeti is, but if he would,
0.
if he would have failed it,
Really?
Plus 0.
or if he would have succeeded that on that flask thing, that fight would have been completely different. Yeah. Like,
Well, I mean, he's 18 feet tall. So you figure like something 18 feet tall that weighs that much, they're not very dexterous. Same with like, it's a huge target. That's why its armor class is only 15. So
That's something that I remember
really?
about giants is giants have a low armor class, but they have a lot of health.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
137 hit points is what he had.
Oh, geez.
For me, it was, I knew obviously you guys are level 2s and like a CR9 monster is just bonkers, but based on amount of players and narratively, I just thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Like-
That was cool.
if the fire wouldn't have worked, he would have had those additional actions. It would have been vastly different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has multi-attack.
Oh, and
He can do 3.
oh my goodness.
Splat.
I mean, one person a turn, he would have downed one person a turn.
And I have +0 to persuasion. So because I had advantage with speaking Yeti to calm the emotions of dad and mom, like that was the only way I feel like we weren't going to fight 3 Yetis.
Yeah.
No chance.
Whatever.
If that was the case.
So it was very, very fun RPing that as well as doing that encounter in general. It was a blast.
Dude, that ending though.
Getting to look at this laser pistol with Atlas very excited.
Right up your alley there.
Right up your Atla.
I don't want to like give you false hope, but I mean, when he was in that mine, he was still in Icewind Dale.
Oh yeah, probably. That was my assumption. Was like, this place sucks. I'm in a cave in a mine.
Was it cold?
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, not quite as cold though, because you're actually underground, so it's actually more insulated.
Oh wait,
Temperature.
Interesting.
the town that we were just in Tin Towns, whichever one it was a mining town. Michael actually mentioned that.
I did mention a mining town. It wasn't the one you guys were just in.
Cool.
Well, now we know that.
You're
Mark
half
that
right.
off the list.
You're
I
half
remembered something. It was wrong, but
glass half full. You're half right.
I loved even with the like few amount of players that we had, that once we were finally like, the battle is finished, everybody's back together, that we got to have that time to actually just RP of like what actually has been going on. Because I tried to watch the last episode, but I was told like, hey, from this point on, skip it. Like, okay, so I came in as a player like having no clue. Shulth has no clue. And I was like, I legitimately do not know what's happening. I'm here.
Shows up.
was really
surrounded by Yetis. And I'm like, keep him quiet as I'm building a GI Joe for a baby Yeti.
Like, how big is D&D? Yeah,
Welcome to D&D.
There we go.
D&D.
Like a foot or something?
But I was figuring it'd be like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Jeez. Like,
Well.
make it out of snow. Nice.
Originally, I was going to be gone next Thursday, but I actually will be here. So we don't have to take a week off if there's enough of us here.
I am pro playing. I'm gonna get some hours, so I'm pro playing.
Yep.
I think we should play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
I also want to
Check my
play.
calendar.
I want to mix.
Want to mix. Want to DM.
This is by far the most fun I've ever had DMing.
Good.
in
Wow.
D&D. So
Good.
We're just that
we
good.
can say from all of us as your players, you're welcome.
thanks.
It is so much fun. And I've done a few like in physical like one shots and things, and also done all digital, but just like being in the room,
Oh, it's so different.
being able to turn
So
and look at
different.
someone as they're talking, or even making like the side eyes, like this is crazy, you know, like
Oh yeah, Michael and I used to.
You smell what I'm
I mean, Michael and I. So we worked together and started playing D&D a couple of years ago, and there was a time that like the COVID, and we were like, can we do in person? No, we're going to go virtual. Then we can try in person, back and forth, whatever. And every time we'd be like, we miss in person so much. Virtual is great. Like the fact that there are virtual tabletops and you can play, it's great. But I mean, every time we'd be like, we want to meet in person.
Dude,
So bad.
I think the next thing would be VR. Like VR in person, having a table.
Roll.
I ain't saying nothing, but you know.
I have. So eventually, like once we have a studio, I have some ideas. You guys just have to stick in there for them because I've never seen it done for D&D. Just like with the puzzles, obviously somebody had this idea, but I haven't actually seen people using them. So, and I have a particular set of skills
he's on to something.
I think one thing
to pull these off.
which could have been, well, we'll maybe add it for another puzzle if we were to, but just an additional camera that you know
Yes.
who it's going to be handed to, and you come in, you're like,
Yeah.
the camera right above me.
Honestly, we could even use somebody's cell phone and use the NDI camera app,
Yep.
and
Oh.
and we'll just have somebody literally fly in with their phone and follow.
Fly.
Yes.
I have another phone.
Oh, perfect.
I'm just curious how you guys felt about my new trinket owl that flew in.
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. I still don't understand what that thing is.
It's like a familiar.
It's a
Oh, it literally is a phone.
That
Okay.
he somehow built.
yeah. So
It's just
Build a
a mechanical
yeah,
familiar.
at level 2, artificers get infusions, and one of those is an option for this.
It's pretty dope.
And there's some things that I tried to toss in there that as I'm looking ahead at Atla that might play into
Cool.
some direction.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
low
fun.
flavor.
I'm surprised your familiar wasn't a Yeti.
The familiar was the baby Yeti. Actually.
Yeah.
I want to
real.
find commission someone to make a plushie for us now of the baby.
God,
Yeti.
baby Yeti. It's like Baby Yoda, but baby Yeti.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Well,
Anyway,
with the
Friends.
GI Joe tucked underneath it.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually cute. Little baby Yeti holding onto a little toy.
Real quick.
A big bone.
It's a
I just
hat.
have another question for Trent. One of my favorite moments actually was towards the end, getting to like I had my moment of excitement of getting to kill the Yeti, and then just seeing and hearing you off to the side, also celebrating with me. I was like, this is the absolute best. So what was like, how did you feel? What was your reaction to being in the room and feeling like you have to be quiet, but
Okay.
so excited?
I want to be like one of those like players like well nah, I actually won't get into that, but like I want to be able to like help you guys almost constantly, and so it's like that urge is like come on kill it, come on kill it, get it and I can't like do anything about it, so
Yeah.
like
I-
I'm so happy you got the finisher, especially with that one line.
Yeah, that was good.
That was. I had never. I don't think I ever thought about like a dragonborn or draconic. What is it? Dragonborn?
Yeah.
Having psychic damage for its breath weapon attack. And then whenever I asked
It's
you, like, what
kind of cool.
It's one of the new things.
Sort of
Yeah.
cool.
It's a little neat.
and then whenever I was like, what does that look like? And you said nothing.
Nothing.
And I was like, so awesome.
Like literally, you breathe out.
See, I thought it was gonna
you
be like
exhale.
See, I thought it was gonna be
and
like
someone
purple
dies.
breath or something.
The
It
way
just
I
slumps.
had it in my brain was like just a vibration of air.
Mhm.
Like
Oh,
you can
kinda
almost-
like
you can,
a-
like you can see.
It's like when the road's hot.
Yeah,
And you see
like
the
that.
Oh.
You
Yeah, there's a
see
word for that.
A little bit.
What
of
is that?
ripple?
That is so good.
I don't know.
Because it is a 15-foot
waves?
cone, so there's
We'll
got
have
to
to
be
look it up.
some sort of
Yeah.
visible
Yeah.
area of effect.
I think of the word.
Yep.
Super dope.
That was so awesome. Yeah.
This is
Then,
It's not just
then to
You're dead.
inspect it and find out that the ooze coming out of it is
brain matter.
Brain matter.
Or it's ice cream.
There's
What flavor?
an individual in the chat that said, "Yeah, what flavor?"
Amazing.
Orange sherbet.
Well, guys, thanks so much. This is so fun. I'm so glad we did this. Like, there's so many reasons we could not have, or like, but we did, and here we are. So I can't wait to see where we go.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Until next week. This is Fables at the Table, and we'll see you next week.